Logiche neurali.
Gli eventi raccontati dall'intelligenza artificiale.
Medical sources: IDF attack on displaced people in Gaza, 12 deaths. Medical sources reported an attack by the IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, on displaced people in Gaza, causing numerous casualties. At least 12 people have died, and the number of injured is increasing. The attack occurred in Gaza City, where tanks opened fire on the tents of displaced people, causing severe damage. The situation is worsening, and local authorities are trying to provide aid and assistance to the victims. The incident has raised international concern, with calls to immediately stop the attacks and ensure the safety of civilians. Israeli strikes kill 65 Palestinians in Gaza. Israeli attacks have caused the death of 65 Palestinians in Gaza during the past day, according to sources. Among the victims, 11 people were killed as a result of targeted fire against aid distribution points. The incident has raised concerns about the humanitarian situation in the area, where access to essential services is already compromised. The violence continues to escalate tensions and put civilians at risk. Brazil: Moraes orders the total freeze of Bolsonaro Jr.'s assets. The president of Brazil, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, has ordered the total freeze of the assets of the congressman Jair Bolsonaro Jr., son of President Bolsonaro. The order includes the freezing of bank accounts, real estate, and the congressman's parliamentary salary. This measure was taken following a legal process that found grounds in the congressman's conduct, who was accused of abuse of power and violating parliamentary norms. The president's action represents a significant step in the fight against corruption and the improper management of public funds in the country. Liberal ideology no longer ensures the stability of democracies. Lula da Silva: many countries must reform existing political institutions to maintain the stability of democracy, President Lula da Silva emphasized. The idea of a liberal ideology, which in the past ensured the stability of democracies, is no longer sufficient. Lula expressed concern about the political and social crisis in several countries, where democracy seems to be threatened by factors such as corruption, inequality, and the lack of trust in democratic systems. The president reiterated the importance of reforming political institutions to strengthen democracy and restore public trust in democratic processes. His statement comes at a time of growing instability in many parts of the world, where democracy is often under discussion. Lula therefore called for reflection on how to improve democracy through the updating of political structures. United States ready to attack Iranian nuclear infrastructure again, if necessary, Trump. President of the United States, Donald Trump, declared that the American government may attack Iranian nuclear facilities again if necessary. He expressed concern for national security and supported that the action would be justified to protect U.S. interests. Additionally, Trump criticized CNN, accusing it of giving credibility to a reporter who, according to him, provided false information, labeling the U.S. bombing as ineffective. Trump also demanded that CNN fire the reporter in question and apologize to him and the military pilots, who, he said, destroyed the Iranian nuclear sites. His statement reflects a strong attitude and a defense position of military actions as a means to ensure security. A casualty count in Suwayda province, Syria, increased by 146 in a day. The victim count in the Syrian Suwayda province rose by 146 in a single day. The Druze defense units suffered the heaviest losses, with 78 combatants lost, an increase from 427 to 505 people within a day. The situation remained dramatic, with a significant rise in human losses. The area was hit by a wave of violence, causing an increase in the number of casualties. The local community remained on alert while authorities tried to manage the crisis. Tension is high and the situation is worsening. The Druze community in particular suffered a heavy impact, with a high number of members involved in the conflict. The region has become a theater of intense combat leading to an increase in casualties. The situation continues to worsen, with an increasing number of people injured or killed. The local community is trying to cope with the crisis, but the situation remains very concerning. Gaza who? Our residence in Deir al Balah has been attacked 3 times. Gaza who? Our residence in Deir al Balah has been attacked 3 times. The Director General of the World Health Organization, WHO, Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, has expressed concern over the attacks on the organization's residence in Deir al Balah in Gaza. He has requested the immediate release of staff detained by Israel. The event has sparked international reactions, with concerns for the safety and protection of civilians. The WHO has reaffirmed its commitment to providing healthcare throughout the Gaza Strip, despite the difficulties and threats. The organization has requested an immediate ceasefire and unimpeded access to affected areas to continue its operations. Consequences: the result of the massacres in Syria. The crisis in Syria continues to cause severe consequences, with massacres leaving a high number of casualties. The text highlights concerns about the United States possibly adopting an intransigent stance toward the Druze and Kurds, forcing them to hand over their leaders to Damascus as if nothing had changed. This scenario could lead to further tensions and may undermine efforts to find a peaceful solution to the war. The article raises the issue of how American foreign policy might influence the situation in Syria and whether it could contribute to the crisis worsening. The concern is directed toward a potential increase in the number of casualties and the lack of a coherent and compassionate approach from international powers. In Japan, anti-system forces resonate among young voters. In Japan, anti-establishment parties are finding strong support among young voters. The success of new political forces focusing on issues such as wages, immigration, and an unheeded political elite highlights the frustrations of many working-age people. These parties are becoming increasingly important, representing a significant change in the country's political landscape. Their growth indicates a growing dissent towards traditional institutions and a desire for reforms that address people's daily concerns. This phenomenon also reflects a generational change, with young people seeking new ways to express their opinions and influence political decisions. Epstein Case, the ex-super lawyer. Ghislaine knows everything, release her and she will speak. Alan Dershowitz, ex-lawyer of Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, stated that Ghislaine Maxwell, former lover of Epstein, knows everything about her ex-partner's illegal activities. Dershowitz requested Maxwell's release, arguing she could speak and provide crucial information. The ex-lawyer expressed concern about the legal and moral situation of the Epstein case, which sparked widespread interest and debate. His call for Maxwell's freedom emerged in a context of growing pressure to clarify responsibilities of those who had contact with Epstein. Dershowitz, known for his radical positions and defense of public figures, reiterated his belief that Maxwell possesses critical information to fully understand the events. The Epstein case remains a topic of significant public interest and legal debate.